Katie.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. So, why don't you tell me about what's been going on since last time we met? I know that you were supposed to go meet with your ex-husband and your lawyer at the court to kind of figure out the custody with your children. So did you end up doing that?
Yeah. I ended up meeting with the lawyer that you referred me to. And I was actually quite surprised because normally like custody battles and like court cases are dragged out, but for some reason, not that I'm complaining, but the custody battle that I just had, it was only like a 3-day thing.
Oh wow,
So,
that's
yeah.
really fast.
I know.
They can take months sometimes,
I know.
so that's really quick.
I'm really grateful.
Did you get all your questions answered, or was it too rushed, or?
No, I actually liked it because it was like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Okay.
I like that besides the fact that I had to take off the work. That was kind of an issue, but at least like the custody thing is done. We came to the agreement that he will take the children every other weekend.
Okay.
So.
And you agreed with that? You like that setup?
Yeah. I just wanted him to have as much time with them as he possibly can. Like they're getting older. He's missing milestones in their life. You know.
That's
I just
true.
want him to be part of their life.
Has he been showing you that he deserves to have the kids, like every other weekend? And then does he see them at all during the week at all, or is it just strictly the weekends?
He doesn't really show me like much effort to like want to see the kids. I kind of like force it on him.
Okay.
I just feel like there's something else like going on with him because of the fact that like normally he would want to spend all the time in the world with kids, and all of a sudden since like we got our divorce and that's something to do with them, and I find that very odd.
Okay.
But and for the question about during the week, the judge said if we wanted to do Wednesdays,
Okay.
so like every other weekend, and then on the weekend where he doesn't see them, if he wanted them on that Wednesdays, it was something that we needed to discuss.
Okay.
So it's been about 2 weeks now. His first weekend he was supposed to have them was last weekend. So like court was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Okay.
and that Friday he was supposed to come pick them up at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Because custody goes from 5 o'clock on Friday to 5 o'clock on Sunday.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
And-
pretty standard.
Yeah. And at 4:30 on Friday, I got a phone call from him saying that something came up and he can no longer take the kids for the weekend.
Did he
So.
tell you why he couldn't take them, or?
I tried asking him and he just said something came up and he just rushed off the phone and said, tell him I'm sorry, I gotta go.
Okay. That can be really difficult. Did you explain to your kids what happened, or did you ignore it, or how did that conversation go?
Yeah, they didn't have school on Friday, it was like an institute day.
Okay.
So all day on Friday, they like packed bags. It was like, I'm gonna bring this to play with Dad, I'm gonna bring this and that. So they had like bags packed, like multiple bags for each of them to like do stuff with him. So they were really looking forward to it. So when I had to break the news to them that Daddy was no longer coming, they were both devastated, and I had to deal with my kids crying and screaming for 2 hours to try and, you know, it took me that long to calm them down.
Yeah.
And then I have to think of something to do with them, to bring them somewhere, to get them, to make them, you know, maybe forget about the fact that their dad doesn't want them, you know?
Right. Now, do you think it's the fact that he doesn't want them, or do you think something actually came up and he couldn't take them for whatever reason?
I would never think that he doesn't want to see them because of how he was with them when we were married. It blows my mind, to be honest. Like, I'm still in shock. But I think that there's something greater going on in his life right now that he has zero control over. I'm not sure what it is, but there has to be something that's keeping him from seeing his children.
Do you think it might be something related to the divorce? Was there like some unresolved conflict? I mean, obviously divorce is a conflict in itself, but was there some unresolved conflict between you two that might be making him more standoffish, or do you have any idea what it might be?
I honestly have no idea whatsoever.
Okay.
I am still in contact with his mom every once in a while.
Okay.
Through the divorce, she's not the friendliest person. But she wants to see her grandchildren, so I'm not going to keep them from seeing his whole side of the family.
Okay.
Like that's their family, that's their grandparents. So she comes and gets them every once in a while. So last time, she came and got them like 2 weeks ago. and she was telling me that she hasn't talked to him in a couple months. He avoids her phone calls and the same that he does with me.
Okay.
She didn't even know that like I summoned him to court or whatever is for custody.
Okay.
So like he's in a dark spot right now. I don't know if it's depression or what it is, but he just I don't know.
Okay, so what I'm getting from what you're telling me is that the way he's been acting since you got divorced isn't just towards you, it's also towards his own family. Okay. Do you think he needs to get outside help? Like, do you think that is something that maybe we could work on with him? Like, would you like him to get some services, maybe by me, or I can refer him to someone else? Do you think that would be a good idea?
A couple months ago when we talked about this, when I first started thinking about like bringing him in, I didn't think it was a good idea at all. I think he
Yes,
was.
I remember when you said that.
Yeah, I think we would have been like completely against it, but now maybe he really needs help. So I think it would actually be like a good idea.
Okay.
And I think it might be better for you to do it because
Okay.
you're familiar with the background of our relationship and our children and me.
Okay.
So then maybe like you can talk to him and see why he was ignoring his children.
Does he know that you're receiving services?
Yes.
Okay, so it wouldn't be weird for him to get a phone call from me, and obviously I would explain who I am and what I do, but you don't think it would be weird for me to contact him? You think he would be approachable?
Yeah, I think
Somewhat.
he might be like taken back or like
Okay.
a little, like,
Yeah.
against it at first.
Right.
But he's very easy to persuade, especially when he needs help.
Okay.
If somebody's willing to give him help, he'll take it.
Okay, good. Okay, we will definitely try to do that. How do you feel about meeting together? Or would you like me to just meet with him one-on-one? How you let me know how the meetings should go, because I can work around any situation, so.
Right. I think it would be best if maybe the first meeting that he came in here for would just be with you two.
Okay.
Because I feel like he would be more willing to open up. If you can get him to open up, he'll open up more if I'm not here.
Okay.
He doesn't want me like judging him or like knowing his problems. He's a very like kept to himself person.
Okay.
So, but I think he'll be willing to tell you because like once he gets to know you a little bit, you guys like develop the relationship or whatever. Like
Okay.
we did. I was willing to talk to you, and
Right.
we're kind of like the same.
Okay.
So, and then maybe like after, maybe when you feel it's necessary,
Okay.
I would be more than willing to have like a meeting with him and maybe we can see what the problem is and why he like won't spend time with his kids that are so desperately wanting to spend time with him.
Okay. I think that's very good, and I think it's good that you see that he needs some one-on-one help, but I also feel that it is very important that you are in at least one session with him too, just because your kids are what holds you two together, even though you're divorced. So I think you both need to find some common ground, like with your children and with the custody battle and with yourselves. So I think we will start with just a one-on-one meeting, me and him, and I will contact him tomorrow morning, try to get something set up as soon as possible, and hopefully I will have that meeting before our next meeting, and which we'll set up at the end of this one. And hopefully we can get that taken care of, and then maybe a couple weeks down the road, we can have you two together. Does that sound good?
Yeah,
Something that you'd wanna do?
Yeah, that
Okay.
sounds really good.
Good. Now, why don't you tell me a little bit more about how your kids have been doing?
Well, my son, his learning problem, his ADD, I feel like it's getting worse.
Really?
Yeah, I took him to the doctor after our last meeting, and they prescribed him a medicine, and I keep getting bad reports from teachers every week. I have it to where they email me like weekly reports, or if something happens in class, like they like desperately need to talk to me, like they call me. So 2 times this past week, I got a phone call throughout the day, and I got a really bad weekly report from his teachers at the end of the week. I guess he just can't pay attention. He's just not up to everyone else's learning standards, and they've tried working with him at all different levels, and they're basically giving up is what I took from it.
Okay. Was this your idea to get these weekly reports? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, that's really good that you're doing that. Clearly you see that your son is having some issues with school, and you're taking the initiative to figure out how to make him better, and that's really good. So I'm really glad you did that. Keep getting those reports from the teachers. cause those will help you, and I think you should meet with his doctor again. And kinda, did you tell them that last time? I'm sorry, I don't even know if you told them about the reports and stuff that you've been getting from doctors. Do they know about those and like how he's getting worse?
Well, he's only been on the medicine for like 2 weeks now.
Okay.
So, I've been like giving it time to see if the medicine needed a little time for it to kick in. But I'm going to schedule another appointment, and I'm going to bring all the reports with me to the doctor and be like, look, like the medicine that he's on is not helping him. I think it's maybe making him worse. So.
Okay. I would definitely do that, because to put so many medicines through a kid's body isn't always the best thing for them. Mm-hmm. And I think if the doctor knows that he's getting these bad reports from his teachers, they might be able to make a connection and maybe get him on a different medication. But do you think there's anything else we could do for your son? Or like, do you know what I mean? Like anything, like, do you think the doctor route is the right way to go? Or, I mean, I know that there's specialized schools for kids with ADD, maybe not full-time, but take a couple of their classes or somewhere else. Like, do you think that's something he would do?
I would prefer him to not have to be on medicine the rest of his life. Right. So, like, I've been researching other alternatives, and I did find a school for kids with severe ADD. Good. But the only thing is the cost is extremely outrageous. My insurance don't cover it. I know his father will not be willing to help at all. Mm-hmm. And child support barely helps me with like food and stuff for them. So if I could afford it, that would be my dream to send him there. But at this sort of point in time, I can't, unfortunately. So like education is so important. So I don't know what to do at this point. I'm stuck.
I think there's a couple things that we could do. We could look into other schools. Maybe the one that you found isn't amazing, but the price is too high. So maybe we could look for other schools, or we could look at helping you apply for loans and stuff like that. It's a school, so they will have financial aid help. Especially with a specialized school like that, there's more opportunity for help financially. So we could look into that. Do you really like this school, or are you set on this one, you think?
I mean, I'm open to other schools, but I just really liked what this school had to offer. And they also were willing to provide like transportation. Oh, because that's good. You know, my work schedule is so tight, I barely have time to, you know, do anything, and their times are different than my daughter's school. Okay. So it would be really hard for me to get them both to school. Okay. So what would you like us to do about getting him into this school? Probably look more into like the financial aid aspects that they have. Okay. I mean, I'd be willing to take out a loan if I need to, but it's just so hard to sign my life away saying that I'll pay back this much amount of money by this time. I prefer like grants and stuff.
We can look into grants too. Sometimes loans are better. Obviously grants are better because you don't have to pay them back, but sometimes the loans give you a decent amount of time. Mm-hmm. So we can look into both, and we can have that be our goal for our next meeting. If you want to look at some, and I will also look for some, and we can compare and see which ones fit you better, and then at our next meeting we can start applying for those. Would that be something you're interested in?
That sounds great.
Okay. So for our next meeting, we are going to look for some grants and some loans that you can apply for, and then I'm going to be contacting your ex-husband to see if I can get him in here before our next meeting. And then we should probably meet in about a week and a half. Is that okay?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Sounds good. Okay, thank you so much for coming in today.